This is 70,000 Tons of Metal, the original, the world's biggest heavy metal cruise. 60 bands, 4 days, 1 cruise ship, only 3,000 tickets. It's like having an all-access backstage pass. January 29th to February 2nd, 2026. From Miami, Florida to Nassau, the Bahamas, and back. Go to 70000tons.com and book now.
Where are you located geographically today?
Geographically in Ottawa. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ottawa, Canada. What about you?
I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay. Yeah. It's a nice place. We went to Washington, D.C. Was it last year? We've been a few times. It's nice area.
Oh, yeah, I'm about an hour from there, maybe an hour and a half, but yeah, not far at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how Richmond is like literally just next door, like,
Right next door. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it starting to get cold up there yet?
No, we've been lucky. It's been like 23, 25 degrees. It's been very warm September. What about you guys?
It's in the 90s here today, so it's warm.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Yeah, I'll take it any day of the week. Anyway,
exactly.
Let's just jump in. I guess one of the things I like doing about the show is finding bands that I've not heard of and, getting acquainted with them and whatever. So for those like me not familiar with Doll, can you give us like the 2-sentence elevator boardroom sort of pitch?
Yeah, no. So Doll's been around for a little while. I think we started off in 2009. And we're kind of a mix of, I would call it maybe like a little bit of punk, indie, grunge, metal, kind of all genres that we like mixed in together. So it's kind of hard to put us in a single category. But we have 3 albums that are out, and just keep. We were on a hiatus for a little bit, but we're back with a new album, and hoping to continue to do more and more of those.
So new record. When can we expect that?
So the new record came out this summer. It's called Better Days and Different Times. And it's kind of like a 6-song EP that we recorded over the past year. So that's out. So I encourage folks to go and listen to that. And then, we're already in the music in the studio this weekend. So keeping...
Are you guys writing that quickly?
Yeah. Well, so we've always been writing, and it's my husband and I, Pete, and we've got, a jam room in the basement, so we are always writing. And luckily for us, like our producer and mixer Josh Hart is also like literally 2 blocks away from us, so it's like so it's easy to just get back into the studio. Yeah.
Are some of the songs that are going to make it on the new project from the last record, or do you like wipe those clean and start again?
I think we wipe them clean. Start again. Absolutely.
So do you think then about approaching a new record or a new EP, trying not to write the same record that you just finished or that you released last? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's, if you look back at some of the albums we made in 2009, we still have a little bit of the same vibe, but it is different, a little bit mature. Yeah, we try not to repeat ourselves or make, the same type of song all the time. Definitely some influences that kind of stay with us, but we've always been trying to kind of grow a little bit. We've got some, more melodic songs and acoustic stuff, and then we've got really some raw punk stuff. So it's a little bit all over the place. So it hopefully keeps it interesting for listeners.
I know you said you had a bit of a hiatus. So during that, when you came back from the hiatus, was the creativity unbounding, and was it a good break from the hiatus?
Yeah. So almost had, so Pete and I are married. We've got 2 kids. So obviously the kids are kind of the reason why there's a little bit of a hiatus. Sure. It's kind of hard to be in a touring band and all that when got little ones, but we always kept on writing. So a hiatus from like touring and playing shows a little bit, but always still, playing music, and the dynamic was always there. So it's good. We've got some good dynamic that we feed off of each other. So it was just always there, just kind of like getting, okay, let's like actually record and put it out. And it's okay if we're not touring anymore and all that stuff. It's just, we're making music that we enjoy, and hopefully other people enjoy it too.
And I talk to a lot of people who can't afford the tour. I mean, you could be make the best records out there and have a whole ton of fans, but it's a really difficult time touring, especially the States.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm a concert promoter, so I've been doing that for 20 plus years. And I know how difficult it is, even for like super successful bands, right? You could have big bands playing like 500 cap, 1,000 cap rooms. They're still not, making a living off of it, right? They still have part-time jobs. They're just doing this kind of like as a full-time hobby. So the economics around it is, very challenging.
So I'm going to shift gears just for 1 second because I'm curious. Do you see that changing anytime soon, or is this sort of a new part of the whole new business model for the music business and touring?
Touring, yeah, it's really tough for bands because they're not making money off their music anymore, right? They're not getting the big advances from the record companies. A lot more stuff is indie. The touring, you're not making money off of the touring because you got to pay for your gas, your driver, yada yada, your tax and all that stuff. So I think they're making money off the merch, and that's why we're seeing the merch prices go up. I think that's like the last area that folks can like make a little bit of profit on, but it's only getting
unsustainable shortly.
Yeah, and it's so, especially what's happening with like the visas in the US and like like the trade policies within the US and Canada too. It's making it even harder for bands to like go to different countries and tour. So it's going to be complicated for artists. Yeah. So you got to do it because you love it, because the money is not at the end of the line.
No, I 100% agree. And sometimes I think that's even the best way, right? Because you're doing it actually for the love of it. And I think a lot of that comes through or should come through in the music, right? And in everything you do, because you're not really there to make the millions, even though you'd love to. You're there to put out a record that you love and hope people connect with.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. And I think even like obviously some of the bigger artists are still in that mindset, you got to be pumping out the hits and stuff like that. But I find for more of the underground stuff, everyone has come to that realization anymore. No one's trying to be the next big thing because let's be honest, it's like, your chances are 0.01, right? So everyone's just putting out music that they thoroughly enjoy. And hopefully with that, you get more creativity out and honesty.
Yeah. No, I agree. In what ways do you think Doll's latest record reflects personal growth or transformation since the Ragdoll Diaries?
No, I think definitely with this album, we've definitely grown in terms of like songwriting and all of that. So we've got 6 songs on this album. I'd say, the first one is definitely Bleeding, is a little bit more darker, kind of has a little bit of Indigenous roots or meaning to it. And then, Shark Bait is a little bit more straight up kind of punk rock, a little bit of hardcore. Then we've got Smoke on the Water. That's a cover from, Deep Purple. So a very different kind of like doomy take on it. And then the later half of the album, Sing Dream, is a little bit more shoegazy. We've always enjoyed that stuff. And then we've got kind of more 2 ballads at the end of it, Ends Like This and Goodbye. So definitely progressing in terms of like just experimenting in terms of the music we kind of play, branching out a little bit, and same lyrically as well, right? So just not, and I think it's a little bit more evident in this album as well, even though we've done it in the past.
How much time did you spend getting those songs right, sequencing them in the proper way so you could take the listeners on the journey that you had intended?
Good question. We try not to overthink things. Definitely, I find sometimes in music industry, like just a great song can be written in like 5 minutes, and if you're overthinking it, then it gets all over the place. I think we just kind of like, we definitely, knowing that the songs were all very varied, like trying to piece them together and like what message do we want to send and where do we want to take listeners, kind of like through this little bit of a roller coaster with Doll with us. So that's how we piece them together, and hopefully people enjoy the tracking. But people don't listen to music like that anymore too, right? Like they just listen to singles. So
oh my God, the attention span sucks, but I truly appreciate it, right? I love, sitting down and the whole experience, probably just because of age or whatever, but that's how I grew up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You'd be like, would order a CD, you'd be so excited for it to come in, and then you just like would listen to it. And yeah, sadly, it's not like that anymore, right? It's just like singles, and it's if you don't like the first 10 seconds, it's like skip, right?
Oh,
So
it's horrible.
different appreciation. Yeah.
And I don't know how that feels as an artist, right? Because you're putting, I mean,
So
do you
much
take a
time
lot
and
of that
energy.
personal when you look at your stats, but you're putting all that time, effort, soul, blood, sweat, and tears, and then somebody's like 10 seconds, 30
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah. No, it is obviously discouraging for artists and even ourselves. It's like, oh, why are not more people listening to this one or this one? And yeah, it's just the way it is nowadays, right? It's just difficult. But yeah, I wish people would, give it a little bit of a longer take and like
Engage
actually
just a
sit with
little.
it, engage and like actually look at their lyrics and things like that. Yeah.
All right, so here's an out of the box one for you. If you had to summarize the emotional journey of the new album as a physical landscape, what would it
Oh my
look like,
goodness.
and what hidden corners would your longtime fans find there?
Wow. That is a question. I don't think people listen to the album and after listening to the album feel good about themselves. It's kind of like watching a little bit of a drama or a horror movie, right? So we kind of want to take them through this emotional journey with us. Obviously, if I had to like put it into a landscape, we've got a song like ends like this, and it's like, sitting on the edge with you next to me and like pretending what it used to be. And it's just, so I think it's kind of like desolate and alone and things not always turning out the way that you like. Life is not a fairy tale, and life is not going to be what you expect it to be. Um, Definitely that is, something that every day I feel like, so that definitely resonates in some of the lyrics and in the journey that we try to bring people with. Yeah. Yeah.
How cathartic is it writing this kind of music?
Uh, it is, and it's difficult. Like the last song that we have on this album, it's about, I lost my mother at a young age. She committed suicide. So, it was it's always very difficult. Yeah. To kind of like, especially to wrote the song for her and for myself and just kind of like go through that again and, sing it and take people through it. It's a little bit, it's difficult. Obviously you want to do it, but it's still difficult to talk about it. And it's difficult to put into words and to show that out there to everyone to listen to.
So then when you're playing that every night, do you have to like rip that scab off, or do you find a way to avoid that deep connection?
I think you almost have to rip that scab off every time, which is challenging, right?
Yeah.
And
especially if there's more songs to follow, you're spent.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think some of the more difficult songs that I find, as myself and other artists too, sometimes you tend not to play them live because you're just like, I don't want to go through this every night. Let's just do songs that are a little bit more upbeat and that people can like, mosh to and things like that. So
So one more out of the box one, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Imagine you could invite any musician, living or dead, to add a layer to just one song from Better Days, Different Times. Who would you pick and why?
Good question. I would say probably Kurt Cobain. I think it's, obviously would be a lot of pick for a lot of folks, but just the he was such a great lyricist, right? Like just it was always, I think he was such a great writer, really great as well as to having very nice, great melodies, but simple melodies and effective melodies. I think that, obviously if we had a collaborator on this album, it would be him. For this album, though, we did have a lot of living collaborators, which was nice. Lots of people from the Ottawa music scene. We had a cellist, we had some piano players, we had different drummers, we had different guitarists, bassists. So it was a little bit of a collaboration from a lot of musicians from Ottawa too. So that was nice.
That's great. And I know you said, obviously you're not touring with with kids, but are there any plans to do short runs or weekend warrior kind of things or anything coming up?
Yeah, we'll see about it. Definitely, there's nothing booked right now, but I think with the new album coming out, there's lots of interest and lots of people saying like, "Hey, we should be playing live." So I think it'll be probably in the near future for sure.
Okay. And if fans want to find you, can you give us all your socials and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. We are on all the we're on Spotify is probably the best place to listen to our stuff. Just Doll Band on there. We're on Instagram, on Facebook, Doll Band as well. So just if you put in like Doll Band and some of the socials there, you'll be able to find us.
Awesome. That brings me to the end of what I had. Did I miss anything you wanted to cover?
No, that's great. Thank you so much, Bruce. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope that wasn't too bad.
No.
Little off the beaten path, but it makes it interesting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
No worries. Have a good one.
Cheers.
Bye.
Be well.